Am I live? I think I'm live. Maybe. Maybe? We're good! Oh my gosh. No one's here, but that's okay. I'll talk to you anyway. This is an adventure. Oh my gosh! Hey, Daryl! How you doing this morning? I have no topic for today. We're just gonna sit around and chat about random stuff and, you know, fish. I can see this getting very distracting, having my window open in the background. Hey, Dee! Good morning. Pop out my chat because I can't sit here and look at a giant screen of myself in delay. I just can't do it. I hope everybody is having a really good Saturday. This was too early. Waking up at 8. I think I went to bed at like 4. And I got up and I was like, why? Why did I do this to myself? Good morning, Viola. Me too. I woke up and it was here, magically. Pre-scheduled. Has anybody done anything interesting this week in the fish world? Agreed, Dee. I have it in the background sitting with my chat window because I can't with the 2 images of myself talking in delay. I can't do it. It's too distracting. But at least I got it up and running. I feel like I'm winning. This is weird because I've never been live before and there's all these buttons and I don't know what any of them do. I'm just going to assume that I should not push them because, I don't know, things will go horribly, horribly wrong. Somewhere in this room. There he is. Come here, baby. I have a cat. Come here. Oh, this is Emo. He decided to join us. Or rather, he came in here for a nap and now I'm kidnapping him. Emo, look it. There's you. He's like, no, I'm not interested. Thank you. Thank you for your fluffy butt in my face. Goodbye. Too many guppies. The answer is always too many guppies for everyone. They're so cool though. I love guppies. I didn't think I was going to love them as much as I do. But they're so active and so funny. They're always hyperactive and they're always everywhere, unlike bettas who are kind of a little bit lazy. Let's see, what is chat saying? What is your favorite type of betta? Andrew says. That's a hard question to answer. Thinking. I don't know if I have a favorite type. I would have said plakat a while back, but I only have one plakat. Most of mine are half moons and rose tails and undetermined females. So I don't know. Anyone that can swim. I like the ones that can swim. Our fish Juman back here, not great at the swimming. He's a rose tail and his tail is like way too heavy and he just kind of floats around and lounges. Hello, one fish, two fish, good morning. We don't have a topic for today. We're just gonna all sit around and talk about fish and chat and hang out because it's too early in the morning to function. Yay! No, I'm excited. This is really weird, but like, I'm gonna roll with it. I'm just gonna pretend we're all sitting around a table talking and drinking our coffee, and I will try not to be an awkward potato, and we're gonna do good. I do have to say though, it is really hot in here. Like, really hot. The desert is the worst. Don't ever move to the desert. Just don't. If you have a choice, stay away. I come from Oregon originally, and it's a lovely, lovely rainforest. And I lived right on the coast, so it was like always cold. And then I got married and moved here. I'm not built for the heat of the desert. It gets to be about 114 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer. And then it drops down into the negatives in the winter because the desert has no vegetation and can't hold the heat. And it doesn't rain for long expanses of time. We had, a while back, we broke a record. It was like more than a year in between rains. It just doesn't happen. And so it's just like, ugh, it's so hot here. I think today, let's see, it's 50% humidity in here and about 82 right now. Yesterday it got up to 88 in my upstairs because our air conditioner's broke. It's lovely. So yeah, don't ever move to the desert. Just don't do it. If you have a choice and you're thinking, oh, but the desert's amazing. They don't have tornadoes or hurricanes or tsunamis, earthquakes. Think of the heat. Don't do it. I know you have like the cooler desert, do you? Probably. I've seen pictures. There's green there. We don't have green. We have lots and lots of cacti. We have tumbleweed, sagebrush, and dust. We have lots of dust and sand. Yes, it does get monotonous, Viola. Really. Anytime there's any clouds in the sky, I'm like, oh, please rain. Please. I just want rain. But it's not even good rain here. In Oregon, when it rains, it smells like trees and grass and all that stuff because, they have those things. Here it rains and all you smell is dust and dirt. It just kicks it up in a big cloud and the sky turns orange and it's really gross. We do have those huge cactus things, the swirl cactuses. They're really cool. They're all over the place out here. But all of the plants here in the desert want to kill you. Everything has spines. It's only rained once there, Dee? Oh my god, it's rained more than that here this year anyway. Summer is our rainy season, which is really weird because, the desert. But most of the year we don't get any rain at all, and then as soon as summer hits, rain, if it's going to rain at all. Oh, tumbleweeds are the worst. In our previous house that we lived in before we went to this house, we lived right on the edge of Fort Bliss and the El Paso airport. And so right behind our back fence, we just had these huge empty fields that were like for the runways and stuff. And one, planes are really, really annoying. But two, the tumbleweeds, just tumbleweeds all the time in the spring. They just roll in off the fields and hop over our back fence, and we go in the back, and there'd just be tons of them stacked up against the rock wall that we have to get rid of. Tumbleweeds. They're massive. They're a lot bigger than you'd think they would be from like cartoons. They're really, really big. My cat's sitting by the door. He's like, please let me out. Nope, sorry, you're stuck in here now. He'll be okay. He usually just sleeps most of the day anyway. Do you see wild animals? What animals? There's animals in the desert. We don't have any large animals out here. Like, not even deer. Out on the outskirts of town, we have javelinas, which are these itty-bitty tiny little pigs that are super aggressive and scary. They will eat your dog. Like, don't mess with javelinas. So we have those. We have wild hares and rabbits. Maybe once in a while a squirrel. I know there's skunks in the area, but I've never seen one. Foxes. We do have foxes. But most of the wildlife we see here is insects because the desert. We have tarantulas and scorpions. And you don't know fear until you're up at 2 a.m. and have a sun spider, which is a stingless type of arachnid scorpion thing, run across your barefoot. Had that happen. No, they're really bad. I hate them. They're aggressive and scary. How do we dispose of the tumbleweeds? Burning? Don't tell Fort Bliss I just threw them over the fence into their area because that's where they came from. Like, what else are you supposed to do? We're not allowed to burn things here in the desert because it's one giant fire hazard. So, and you're not allowed to throw them in the trash. That's against the city codes. So you either have to have somebody come out and like pick them up and remove them by truck, or you can slyly throw them back over the fence. Hey, Lumpy Dog, good morning. We're just hanging out here, just talking about life in the desert. It's great. We love the desert so much. No, it's really, really awful. Scorpions are the worst. Always check your shoes. Lizards, we get a lot of lizards. Like, lizards you wouldn't expect here. We get a lot of geckos, especially in the spring. You'll find just like these itty bitty tiny see-through baby geckos just all over the house. I don't know what kind of gecko they are, but they're really cute. My cats love them. And we get a lot of these little tiny, I can't remember what they're called. Some little tiny lizard that runs really, really fast. We have them everywhere. We have rattlesnakes. I don't see a lot of snakes. Mostly lizards. When my daughter was little one year, in our previous house, we liked to leave the back door open because we had like a screen door, and my cats would sit there and look out the back at the birds and, you know, live the best life. And we would get these lizards that would come in the house under the door because it's a safe door. And when my daughter was little, probably about 4 or so, she came running up to me at my computer desk. She's like, Mom, there's a lizard in the living room. And I was like, okay, I'll get the lizard because I'm not scared of lizards. And I thought, okay, it's gonna be one of those little tiny ones that like run really, really fast. And I go in there and I'm like, okay, where's the lizard? Show me. Hi, Emo. He's meowing, he wants out. And she points up. I was like, what? And this lizard had climbed on top of our curtain rod in the living room. And it was not a little tiny fast lizard. It was It's called an alligator skink. They're about this big. And he was just hanging out on top of the curtain rod. That was a fun day, trying to figure out how to get it down and out the back door again without getting bitten, because it was huge. Not what I expected to find in my living room. Sounds like Australia, except with the kangaroos. All that scary, dangerous stuff, one fish, two fish says. Yeah, pretty much. We don't have the big animals, but we have a lot of the creepy, crawly things. We have a lot of fire ants. We have tarantula hawks. Those are scary. All kinds of bees. We get the big black Texas bees. They're like this big, and they're terrifying. I stay away from them. Just don't live in the desert. Don't do it. If you ever have a choice, just go somewhere else. Anywhere else, just not the desert. You'll be miserable. It's terrible here. I will forever say I hate the desert, even though I lived here. I've lived here now for 16 years. 16 years. Still don't like it. But, you know, what are you going to do? Your family lives one place, you go with them. No, it's not a bird. One fish, two fish. It's like a giant wasp. They're like this big. I have one right now in my loft, right outside my computer room. It got stuck somehow between the glass on the window and the screen to keep bugs from getting in, which I assume means it was in my house at one point. But it's dead in between the two, and I just don't open that window anymore because it's that big. They're so ugly and scary. And apparently they sting really, really bad and they hurt. So no, I don't mess with them. I just don't. Yeah, Arizona is a lot like this part of Texas. I live in West Texas, like the far West Texas. We're like, I don't know, 10 minutes away from Arizona. From New Mexico. 10 minutes from New Mexico, 5 minutes from Mexico. So we're like right on the border. And yeah, everything from like Southern California to this part of Texas is just like one giant desert. It's all the same. They might have more green than we do. We don't have a lot. Someday, Viola, I will show you the creatures. They're scary. I don't like them. I love insects, but I don't want to mess with any that are gonna like bite me or sting me. Just no. I'll stick to my happily cultured ones. Definitely. We should probably talk about fish. This is a fish stream. We're sitting here talking about the desert for like 20 minutes. Did anybody do anything cool this week? I did something cool this week. I shipped fish for the first time, and it was nerve-wracking. I don't know how you guys do it. I was terrified. I sent fish and snails and rice flower beetles out to people, and the whole time I was like, oh my god, please get there alive. I was sitting there watching no notifications all day. I was like, no, be alive, please get there. Watching the clock. As soon as they arrived, I'm like, okay, 2 hours. If they don't message me in 2 hours, the fish lived. I was so scared. I mean, I did everything I was supposed to do. I shipped it appropriately, but it's just nerve-wracking. Anytime you send something live out into the mail and you're no longer like in control of what's happening to it, you're just like, oh, please make it there. Please. Yes, everything survived. Everything. I was so happy. But oh my gosh, the mail system. That was a nerve-wracking day. Because when you schedule packages to ship, you have to schedule it the day before. You can't schedule it the day of. And I was originally planning to ship And then in the process of trying to ship these, I was like looking through all the documentation and like trying to figure out how to ship, like to print the labels and everything. And I learned that my post office doesn't ship on Saturdays. They're not even open on Saturdays. They don't even deliver mail on Saturdays, which is something new. I thought all USPS places gave you mail on Saturdays, but apparently mine does not, because we live in basically this new area. We used to live in El Paso proper, and El Paso is a huge city. It's really, really big. You'll find it on a map. But we moved out here to Horizon, which is this little new city that's right on the edge of El Paso. And it's like super new. The whole city is like 30 years old. This neighborhood is 5 years old. So everything's still being set up. Like the shopping centers are like empty. Like it's new. And our rinky-dink little post office apparently isn't open all days of the week. So I was like, oh great, so I'm gonna have to ship these early. Went ahead, scheduled everything, thought I was fine, woke up the next morning really, really early because the postman was supposed to come pick up the packages at their usual time, which is anywhere between like 11 and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get up really, really early. I'm going to get all these packages ready and make sure they're out on my front porch for pickup before that time, because my post office is really, really lazy, and sometimes they will pretend they knocked on your door and don't. They'll just write it off. So I got up really early. I put all these packages together because I didn't want the fish sitting in the package overnight. It's not nice. Got it all packed up and shipped. I print the labels, which was an exercise in and of itself. Got it all ready, stuck it outside, came upstairs, and within 2 minutes, I had a message that basically said, oh, we picked up your packages. I was like, it's not even 8 o'clock in the morning. You didn't pick up my packages. What are you talking about? I ran downstairs and I looked outside and I was like, no, packages are still there. I was like, oh no, what are they trying to pull? Because I figured that they were going to be like, oh no, we came by, but your packages weren't there, and just write it off and not show up, because they do things like that. And so I was like, oh God, okay, breathe. They're going to come pick it up. Just ignore that message. With like an hour later, I get another message. Your packages are in pre-shipment. I was like, run downstairs, look out the front door. No, they're still there. So it was really nerve-wracking because I didn't know what was going to happen. But they did eventually come actually pick up the packages and ship them, and everything was fine. But like, don't do that to a person with anxiety. Just don't do it. Let's see, reading the comments. Nothing exciting. Oh, school. Don't even talk to me about school. We haven't started school yet. My daughter is homeschooled. And we haven't. Not yet. We're trying to figure out the whole thing because this is her first year in high school. So we kind of have to plan for the full 4 years, so that she's prepared to go to college and do all her testing and stuff. And I haven't bothered yet. Good morning, Jess. Yes, cleaning bettas a lot. I feel you. Yesterday was jar water changes day. Today is tank water changes day. It never ends. It just doesn't. There's some day I do both on the same day, and it's terrible. It takes literally all day. You guys, if you're thinking about breeding bettas, be prepared for the time consumingness of cleaning their tanks, because it's gonna take up like half your week. It's pretty bad. Right now we have 17 tanks, and I don't even know how many jars. I like to say it's about 150 because I know that's how many babies we had, but some have been sold, so I don't know, somewhere in the 140 to 150 range of jars. It's too many. Me too, one fish, two fish. 187. I don't know how you did it, Dee. I really don't. Like, that's a nightmare. 150 is already bad. 187? Oh, no. Like, I don't know how you did it. That's incredible. Because, oh, that is a lot of work. Yeah, I can imagine it was very stressful. I'm already stressed out some days with what I have. Like, 187, that's like an extra 40. No, thank you. Agreed, Viola. We had to take my daughter out of public school when she was at the very beginning of 5th grade. She was there for like a week. She went to public school until then, and she was in this little school in El Paso. I hate that school. I hate it so much. In just a couple of years that she was there, we had her come home with 3 broken fingers. She needed stitches in her head. These are all separate occasions. Broke one finger, broke another finger, broke another finger, had stitches in her head. Another time she passed out on the floor and got a concussion. The teacher left her on the floor. Didn't send her to the nurse's office, didn't call us, nothing. I found at the end of the day when my daughter came home from school with a giant knot and a bruise on her forehead. And I was like, what happened? She's like, I passed out. And I was like, this is the first I'm hearing of this. How did that happen? Oh, no. She was so stressed out. Her 5th grade teacher liked to single her out in front of the class and basically harassed her and called her names in front of the class, telling her she was stupid, stuff like that. And it got to the point where my daughter was coming home from school every day bawling, just absolutely crying her eyes out every day because she was so stressed out. She started losing her hair from the stress. And then finally, one day she went to school, and this was about a week after she had gone unconscious at school and passed out on the floor, and they left her there. And my daughter played a part in that. This was not because she was sick or something. My daughter had the brilliant idea to hold her breath and see how long she could do it. So she literally made herself pass out. So she takes full responsibility for that, but they shouldn't have left her on the floor. Anyway, all that aside, about a week later, the school called me, and they're like, you need to come pick up your daughter. She's being suspended. And I was like, my daughter? Because my daughter was like on the A honor roll. She was in the gifted and talented class. Like, straight A student, never got in trouble. And they're like, we're suspending her. And I was like, what happened? And I get there, and they tell me that she had elbowed some kid. And I talked to my daughter about it, and I talked to the school principal about it, and I talked to the little girl that got elbowed. And they all said it wasn't her fault. My daughter had dropped something on the floor, went to pick it up, stood up and accidentally elbowed this girl in the face. And the girl even said, it's not her fault. I was too close to her. She didn't see me. everything like that. But they wanted to suspend her from school for a week for elbowing this girl in the face. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, who makes these decisions? And that was just the last straw for me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Out of all the times my daughter's been hurt at this school and people have bullied her, nobody ever got in trouble for any of it. And she's going to get suspended because she accidentally elbowed a kid in the face. So I was just like, nope, pulled her out. Homeschooled since then. She's doing so much better. But like, public, what are you doing? Let's see, what is everybody saying in chat? Ooh, somebody got a sticker. I need to make stickers at some point. It's not high on my priority list. Water lettuce. I am so jealous of all you people who get water lettuce because it is a beautiful plant and I want it so badly, and it is illegal here in Texas. We're not allowed to have any of the good stuff. So jealous. Let's see what else happened this week. My cat is staring at me. He's sitting over by the door, just staring at me like, why aren't you letting me out? Emo, lay down and take a nap. You're old. You need a nap. That's all he does all day. He's about to turn 16 years old. Let's see, what did I do this week? Not a lot. Lots of water changes, lots of jarred water changes, shipping the fish. Everything's like doing really, really well. A lot of stuff here is illegal, Viola. We're not allowed to have Salvinia, water lettuce, the larger duckweed. It's invasive and they're afraid it's going to get into the waterways that we don't have on this side of Texas. So they don't let us. Hello, Koi, Benefit Addicts. How are you doing? Are you having a good weekend? Yes, Jess, they can live in the same tank. I actually have snails in all of my betta tanks. They leave them alone. They don't really care. Some bettas can't. It just depends on the betta because they're so aggressive. But mine are kind of conditioned to it because I keep them with guppies and other things. And so they just don't bother them. They chased after the guppies for like the first 24 hours and then they were like, well, this isn't getting me anywhere. And so they just don't. Because it's illegal here in Texas, quite betta fanatics. Water lettuce is illegal. They don't let us have it. They're afraid it's going to affect all the waterways we don't have. East Texas may have water, we don't. Yeah, I find that to be the case most of the time, Passion for Pets. They just, I don't know, they spend like a day or two like really picking on things, being like, what is this? Can I eat it? Can I win a fight with it? And then after 24 hours, they're just like, okay, I'm bored. And they move on. They have a short attention span. We've kept guppies with ours. I keep ram's horns with ours. I've kept mystery snails off and on with them. Bladder snails, they leave them alone. Let's see. Lumpy says, my only betta is so chill. He has a pack of bumblebee platies and a 20-gallon long. I have to target feed him because platies are so fast and aggressive feeders. Yeah, I have the same problem when I kept mine with the guppies. I would feed the guppies first, and then I would find the betta and drop the food right over their heads because otherwise they just wouldn't get it. The guppies are too aggressive. How did the rice flower beetles get their okay passion for pets? I was worried because you didn't mention them. Are they alive? Did they do good? I've never shipped those things before, but I tried to sneak you in a healthy culture. Lord knows I have enough of them. I love rice flower beetles. They're really awesome, but like everybody who watches my video is like, yeah, they make my skin crawl because they take over. Well, it's a good thing I had tape then. They're really escape artists. You like really have to watch them, make sure they can't climb up the sides of the plastic, because if they can, they will. Yeah, Viola, I sent some rice flower beetles to Passion for Pets this week in one of her shipments. They're really cool. They're these itty bitty tiny little beetles, but they're prolific. You don't have to give them water. You don't really have to feed them. You just stick them in a substrate of like flour, and they'll live that way forever. I clean my culture once every 6 months, and almost nothing eats the beetles themselves. They're really bitter, but bettas love the little larvae and the little pupa. As long as the sight of crawling insects doesn't bug you, they're great. But like, I have a container that's like this big, and we started off with 8 beetles. 8. A couple months later, I have had to kill off most of them because it got to the point where I would open the container and almost the entire thing was covered in little tiny beetles. I got mine from Josh's Frogs and had them shipped to me, but apparently they're sold out right now. I really like them though. They're hard to find. When I originally decided to get them, I really had to look around for a place that was selling them, because they are considered a pest. Because if, oh my God, if they get into your pantry, goodbye food. They will eat anything because they don't need water. They will live off any kind of starchy food. So like, you really have to make sure they don't escape. Hello, Vinoxky. I hope I'm saying your name right. That's the way it sounds in my head. Goodbye, Lumpy. Have a good day. In my experience, the flour doesn't do anything to the water. I go ahead and I throw it in there, and the water just soaks it up, or the fish eat the flour. It doesn't seem to make a difference. It hasn't clouded over the tanks or done anything negative like that, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Yeah, fruit flies. I'm having trouble with my fruit flies lately, and I don't know what's going on with them. We keep them downstairs in that little cupboard, and I don't know if it's the summer heat that's killing them off or what, but for the last couple weeks now, at least one of my cultures, they just all die out. The other 2 are fine, but there's always at least one culture that has just completely died off, and I don't know why it's happening. It's fine because I keep like 3 cultures of them, so I always have more, but I don't know. I don't think they like the heat. But fruit flies get everywhere. It's helpful if you freeze them because it sedates them, but they wake up so quickly. I find them everywhere all the time. Oh no, your freezer broke? That is the worst. Yeah, same thing. I've tried to sedate them in the fridge, and almost as soon as you pull them out, they wake up. That's why I like to do it in the freezer. That really sucks. I mean, you can eventually learn over time to just like shake them out, and tap them to keep them in, but you'll always lose some. I wanted to enter that contest quite bad of fanatics, but no water lettuce here. So I'll let somebody who can have water lettuce join. We can't have the good stuff here in the desert. I'm so sad. I want some so badly. It's so pretty, and every time I see it in somebody's tank, I'm like, oh, water lettuce. But can't have it. There's a lot of stuff we can't have here. Texas has some of the strictest laws about animals and plants that we cannot have. It was, I want to say it's been like a year or two, they started passing some very, very, very strict laws here about that kind of stuff. In most places, they're just like, you know, don't let it out into the environment, but here, like, you can't have it. It sucks. It is, Jess. I'm so jealous. You could probably have it there because you live up in the Pacific Northwest. They let you guys have stuff there because plants are natural. Here in the desert, we just hate green. The only thing we're really allowed here is when I was doing research, we can have the little duckweed, which I have. We can have frogbit, which is pretty, and red root floaters, which I've also tried but did not do well here. So I don't have a green thumb. I kill all the plants. Oh yeah, because it gets really super cold there, Dee. It gets cold here, but it doesn't stick. One year we got down to -17. That was cold enough. It was really awful. I did quite a bit of fanatics, because I can say your name. The music I did not. You can find it on YouTube. I always have a link in the description to it, so you can find it. The picture I did though. I used to work as an artist. I know, it's really weird. Let's see, what else can we talk about? Fishy related. We haven't talked about very much fishy related stuff. Looks around the fish room. Shows you the back of my head. There's not much going on in here. I've been trying to get all of our guppies to breed. We have some very distinct groups of guppies that I'm trying to let line breed out. And everybody has been asking about our blue and black guppies, and they're not breeding. Hi, Hired. What got me started into raising bettas? That is a long question to answer, but I'll try. So, the very, very first fish that I ever had was a betta. It was this beautiful little red betta, which they're almost impossible to find these days, but it was a little veil tail named Odin. And it was a very hardy fish. I did not know how to take care of it. I was really, really bad. I look back on it now and I'm just like, cringe. How did you survive? It lived for about 3 years, which was my longest living fish, because fish are hard to keep alive when you don't know what you're doing. My parents had this idea that, oh, you want a cat, you want a dog? Well, have a fish, try to keep it alive for a year, and if you can do that, maybe you can have a cat or a dog. Cats and dogs are easier to keep alive than fish. Fish are not easy to keep alive. But I had this cute little betta that I managed to keep alive for many, many years, and I absolutely loved him. He lived in a tank that was not appropriate for him. I never did water changes, maybe like once every 2 months. I know, it's really bad. Cringe. The cringe. He lived in a hexagon tall tank, which not appropriate, with 2 common plecos that were about 1 foot long, also not appropriate. But he lived and he did good. It was just sheer dumb luck. Everybody has that one fish that just survives on sheer dumb luck, and that was mine. And I love that guy. And then when my daughter was little, we went and got her a fish tank. None of that survived because, again, I still didn't know what I was doing. She had some pet crabs. The pet crabs ate the fish. It's a horror story. And she's always loved fish. She loves it. She loves going to aquariums. I don't know, they fascinate her. And so when we started doing homeschool and talking about science and stuff, and I knew we were moving to this house, I was like, I really want a pet fish. I want to stick one on my desk and just have a betta fish because I've always loved bettas. And this is how sneaky I am. I asked my husband, I was like, when we move to our new house, can I just get a pet fish to stick on my desk? I just want a pet fish. And he's like, yeah, sure, why not? And my daughter said, oh, I love fish. She's like, can I have a pet fish? And I was like, yeah, well, why not? I'm gonna have a pet fish. You could have a pet fish. And I started talking to her about how I watch these fish channels on YouTube, and I was learning lots of stuff about breeding bettas, and I wish I had gotten the chance to do that because I was being sneaky. And she's like, oh, we could do that for my homeschool science. Let's breed fish. And I was like, yeah, that sounds great because I really secretly want a whole fish room full of fish. And my husband agreed that this was very scientific and great for homeschool. And so we moved into this lovely house, and I said, oh, my office, that's going to be my fish room. And now it is. I win. I was really sneaky about it. I always had the idea that I wanted to breed bettas and have them in my fish room. I just didn't tell my husband that. Shh. And now he's like, let's go to the pet store and let's look at fish. Oh, let's see. How about shrimp? Anyone here into neocardina? I have not started fish or shrimp. I'm worried about starting shrimp. I want some, but between bettas and guppies, they're just not going to live in here. I've accepted this. You worked as an artist. Can you tell me a bit more? I am intrigued. Okay, I'll try to keep it brief, sorta. Growing up, my father was a professional artist. He did marine oil paintings on the West Coast. He's pretty well known for it. And so we always, my family, grew up around artists. Like, we always had artists over. And so when we were little, I am the youngest of 6 children. My father needed a way to shut us all up, so he taught us all art so that we would quietly sit and draw and not ask him a million questions while he was trying to do art. So we got into it at a really, really early age, and I am on DeviantArt. I haven't done any art in a couple of years, but it's still there. I got pretty well known for it there. You can look me up. It's under Darling Bianette. So for a couple of years, especially when my daughter was really little, I did a lot of freelancing as an artist. Just painting pictures on commissions for people. I'm decent at it. I don't know. It takes a lot of work though. Like, one picture will take like 9 hours to do. So like, I don't have the free time for that anymore. So I don't work as an artist very often. Let's see. Passion for Pets that I got. Celestial Pearl Downios last week. Oh, those are so pretty. 5 of them. A week later, I have 3, and 2 are nowhere to be found. I don't get it. They just vanished. No other fish in the tank. Fish are magic. No one told you. They just randomly disappear. I've had it happen. Selling bettas? Me too. Dee went to take her kiddo to craft class. So fun. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Passion for pets. I currently have 9 bettas, waiting for 4 more to get shipped to me. I need more tanks. Yes, that is how it starts. I started with 4. It doesn't last. It doesn't last. You will have a million. Let's see. Shrimp are easy. I've heard shrimp are easy, and there is a girl who lives here in my town that is breeding blue ones and orange ones, and I really, 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 really want some. But I'm afraid that my bettas or my guppies will eat them because they are known for doing that. Guppies eat everything and bettas are aggressive. So I'd have to set up a new tank. Maybe in the future, because there is a lady in town who has offered to just donate me some tanks recently. I think a 30-gallon and a 20-gallon. So maybe if I get those tanks, I will think about having a shrimp tank. Let's see. Hired says, crazy story about some of those puffy goldfish with the big eyes. Short version, hurricane hit and uncle could not take care of the fish. Aww. In the backyard was a dilapidated in-ground pool. Uncle poured out 12 goldfish into the water. They were about 1 inch in size. 4 to 5 minutes later, they renovated the pool and found that 5 of the fish lived and were close to 4 to 5 inches each. Goldfish get huge. And they're really hardy for the most part. I would love a pond. My backyard is not big enough for a pond. My backyard is, it's really wide, but it's really shallow. Yes, Emo? Don't talk to the fish. They don't talk cat. So, like, there's nothing I can do with my backyard. It's just a tiny little strip of sand. Let's see. Viola says, your wish came true. My husband won't not say, let's go to the pet store. He knows what will happen. Mine takes me because next door is a store he likes to go to. So he'll just go in that store and I will go to the pet store and look at guppies and come out with more guppies and bettas occasionally. I'm trying not to though because I have so many tanks in this room. Like there's no room left. I have 4 tanks on that wall. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 tanks behind me. And I have 2 30 gallons on that wall. I'm out of space in here. I would have to put them in a different room. And I've already taken over the guest room because that's where all the jar bettas are. Let's see, what medium do you use? Please post the link. I will post the link. Hold on. I gotta remember it. There is the link to my art. I do digital painting. Let's see. Reading the chat to myself. I feel you, Shady. Shady says, I did that last night. Oh, I'm calling her Shady. Xylo Sente up there, Jess, is one of my good friends, not from the fish community. So I keep using her other nicknames. I'm so sorry. Jess, don't hate me. She said, let's see. I did that last night. My husband basically asked if I could go anywhere without him when I walked out with hermit crabs when I was just supposed to get crickets for our gecko we just got. Me too. Every time I go to the pet store, I just want to come home with something new. I have been trying for years to get my husband to let me bring home a rat. I want a rat. He told me no. Someday I will have a rat. I love rodents. I can't help it. Let's see. Ooh, Koi Beta Fanatics is going to make channel shirts. I have not had a good look at your logo, but I will look at it later. I really want to do shirts sometimes because I do have artistic ability. I could draw. Someday. maybe. Let's see. Hired? You better be joking. What is a guppy? I thought they were just immature fish. No. No, 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 no. A guppy is a live-bearing fish. The males are about an inch. Females get up to about 3 inches. I don't know, they're voracious little omnivore fish. And they're really cute, and I love them. Can you show us your fish? I probably can. Let me unhook this camera from its power cord. I will take you on a brief tour of the fish room. Let's see. Can I switch the camera around? Do I know which button this is? Is this the button? Monitor! You guys are seeing behind the scenes! There's Emo. So, we have some betta tanks over here. These are our new babies. Hi, Emo. Emo's trying to take a look at the camera. So, this is Moo Cow. He is one of our babies from the second spawn, and we just love his pattern, so we have kept him. Yes, Emo, I will let you out. Goodbye. Goodbye, my friend. Go eat breakfast. But we just love his pattern, so we're keeping him. My daughter named him. This is Ba Sheep, his girlfriend. You will notice their tanks are called Beep and Meow because we live off memes here. And beep beep, I'm a sheep. Meow meow, I'm a cow. That's how they got their names. Over here is Kirito. He is also from our second spawn. Come on, Kirito. Come here. Come over here. Let me pretend I'm feeding you. Come here. He's like, I'm not going to fall for that. He is a steel blue rose tail with black on his fins. He is a butterfly. I love him. And then, of course, here's Sophie. She loves her new tank. Absolutely loves it. And then we have Zen. He was the father to our first spawn. This is Rem, his daughter. She's just hanging out, enjoying life, looking a little chubby. Jumin, the father from our second spawn. And Ponyo, the mother from our second spawn. Hey, Ponyo. Ponyo loves people, so anybody who comes up to her tank, she's going to come look at you. She loves people. Kumori is here. This is the little betta plakat that we got from Jordan at Alluring Bettas. We won her in a giveaway. And she's super cute. She only has one ventral, but I love her anyway. Oh, she's adorable. Somewhere down here, we have Rika. She is looking very, very pudgy. She's our most aggressive fish, and I love her. Seiron is hiding in his tunnel because that is what he does all the time. He just loves his tunnel. And Tomoe, he was from our first spawn. He's starting to get red in him, which is cool. I don't know, his colors are weird. Here are some of our guppies. They think I'm going to feed them, which is why they're acting all spastic. And these are our black and blue guppies. I love them so much, but they won't breed. So sad. Past the mess that is my shipping table. These are our snakeskin guppies. in this huge 30-gallon, and we have them in here with our for sale baby mystery snails. I have a lot of them still. This one's crawling around, enjoying his life. Yes, we have a lot of guppies. A lot. A lot. And then, because that's not enough guppies, we have a bin of baby guppies over here with our adult mystery snails. It's a lot of guppies. Guppies never stop breeding. It's crazy. Those are all our fish that are in here. Let's see, we're gonna go on a little tour. I believe my daughter has left for archery practice by now, or is just about to. And here are some cats who think I don't know they're in here drinking the water of my fish. Buffy, what are you doing? Yeah, you run away. Keep going. Keep going. That's Bella. So we have jarred baby bettas in here. We have jarred baby bettas up here. They're looking really good. They're all for sale. Go see the video. Buy some fish. Help me not have to do water changes. Because there's a lot of them. And then there's more. More and more and more and more and more and more and more. Please buy fish. That's my advertisement. Good morning. Did you skip archery? Cool. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mara.
Bye.
We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Now I have cats in here in my messy, messy fish room. Sorry, Buffy, you're trapped here now. She's like, that's okay. I like it in here. Yes, cats love fish water. It is the only water they will drink once they know that it exists. Let me see if I can set you guys back up. We're good. We're good. Yes, Buffy is a very, very fluffy cat. She is a Turkish van. She is pure fluff. 13.5 pounds of pure fluff. As you guys can see, I have a lot of fish. I have a lot of fish. Please buy some. That's about as direct as I can be. Just please save me from the water changes. They're like $10 plus shipping. Buy some fish. Let's see, what did I miss in chat? Ooh, oh, rats. I want a rat. I want a rat. All people have rabbits. Rabbits are really cute. I can't have rabbits. My cats would eat the rabbits. They would also eat the rat, but I still want one. Let's see. Catching up, I'm speed reading. La 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 la. Lots of people adopting animals. I adopted all of mine for the most part. Oh, now Buffy's gonna cry at the door. Sorry, Buff, I told you, once you're in here, you live here. Can you hear her? She's like, no, I don't live here. Hold on. Goodbye, Buffy. She was not gonna live here. That's okay. I don't need a Buffy. Oh, let's see. Do I have any candy corn? No, sadly not. Our two spuns that we have right now are mostly blue metallic, black and white marbles. We have some pastel metallics. We have steel blues, a lot of butterflies. We have one steel blue female. She's on the smaller side, but she's powder blue. I don't know what happened with her genetics, but she's a very bright blue. I really like her. But she's tiny right now. She's that big. Let's see. Oh, everybody has 2 cats. I have 3. It's too many. I am allergic to cats, but the cats were here first, so I am surviving. Oh, everybody has so many animals. I love animals. Guys, I love animals. As if you can't tell. You guys, we've been going for an hour and 5 minutes. That means it's about time to end the stream. But I love all of you for coming to visit me. We talked about nothing, but like it's still fun. Dee is having her live stream tomorrow morning. Everybody should show up for it. I am a regular there. I try to be there every single time. I have missed one. It's not my fault, I swear. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Hopefully I'll do this again maybe next weekend. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. It's really awesome that everybody showed up today because I was like, oh gosh, what if like 2 people show up? That's fine. I'll just talk to myself. And we didn't talk about any particular topic, but it's really nice to get to hang out with you guys and see what everybody's up to. Talk about fish, tell some stories, encourage people not to live in the desert. I did a lot of that, like half an hour of that. I have no candy koi. I do not. We do have some koi though. There was quite a lot of them in spawn number 2 that are just starting to get their red. They already have their black, kind of like Moo Cow. I'm expecting him to get some red at some point. I love koi. Ponyo, the red fish behind me, there. She was a koi when we got her, and she marbled out and turned dark red. I don't know why, but she did. So I always tell people she's a koi, but she doesn't look like a koi. But all of her children are coming out koi. So anyways, thank you guys for showing up. I had so much fun just hanging out. Thank you to Jess and Hired for coming to visit me, my friends. You guys are insane. I know you're not part of the whole fish community, so I appreciate the support. You guys are awesome. We'll play games later. I wish I didn't have to go, but like sitting here for 2 hours that's too long. That's too long. An hour is okay. Everybody needs to go have breakfast. It's too early in the morning, guys. I've had a cup of coffee. But I will see you guys next weekend. Thank you for showing up. If you guys have questions, hold them for next weekend and ask me because I probably have answers to things. I don't know. If not, we'll just complain about the desert some more. Coffee. Need coffee. Now let's see if I can figure out how to turn this off. Maybe? Goodbye.